Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, the channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim, fam. The golden age of collecting isn't over. It's just changed. The things that, I once done, as a collector back in the day, where I was getting stuff for 50 cents and a dollar, some stuff really, really cheap, at even brick and mortar. Hey, those times have changed, man. But you know what? It doesn't mean that it's over. It's just, it takes a minute to build, a collection now. It takes a minute to find some good stuff. So it's not going to be like on a daily basis where you just find fire, bro. You may not find fire. Hell, you may find smoke first, man, which is the precursor to fire. You got to look at this situation and see what it is that you really want, man. And that's what I've been paying attention to. I was taking for granted that, listening to people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't want this. That stuff garbage. This stuff is garbage. You should get the stuff I want you to get." That ain't how collecting works. Collecting works based on the stuff you want and the stuff you like. And if you like the stuff you're picking up and you're finding it for good prices, then that's the only thing that works, man. That's the only thing that matters. Think about it. I found some Batman adventure, new adventures of Batman, I think, from McFarlane Toys. I found them at Ross. They were like $9.99 a piece. Think about it. That's $10. That's $30. I think each figure was $30 by itself. Think about it. I just bought 3 figures for the price of one. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, that's a come up. I wanted the figures, but I didn't want to pay full price for them. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing about collecting. Knowing your limits. Man, knowing your pockets. The way the way you spend your money is the way you collect, basically. If you don't want to spend an arm and a leg collecting, that's okay. Can't nobody say anything wrong about that. People call you broke and cheap all the time. They gonna keep on doing that because you're not buying what they think you should be buying, with your money, which don't make no sense. I buy what I want with my money because I was the one who made it. Collecting for the most part, man, is about things that make you happy. If I wanted to just collect Funko Pops, if they make me happy, that's the thing. Can't nobody change that. Dude, that's what I think changed about collecting, man. A lot of times people will collect the things that other people think you're supposed to collect. You collect what makes you happy, bro. If collecting, Dollar Tree toys make you happy, then shit, that is what it is. Final Faction and, the other stuff that they got there, man, please, you live your best life the way that you see fit, the way that affordable for you, man. One thing that I found about collecting, it could be affordable at times, man, but sometimes it could be really, really expensive. And that's what people are pushing you to do is to buy, buy, buy. And I'm not trying to spend an arm and a leg on any damn thing, man. I'm keeping it real. I want you to understand at the end of the day, look, I want to make a change, but I want to make a change in a realistic way. I want to spend money on things that matter, not things that don't. And we've been spending money on things that don't matter for the longest, man. FOMO, buying stuff that other people think you should have, man. Everybody else got a Nintendo Switch too. I'm going to get me one. No, do you really want it? Would you really play it? Dude, everybody else is getting that Galactus, yeah, shit, just because the price is what it is, I want it, I'm going to get it. Then you get it. But you know what? Getting it because you want it is one thing. Getting it because it makes sense for you and your collection is another thing, man. I was going to get Cat Slayer. I was all in. And people say, "Oh man, you cheap. You didn't go buy $1,000 toy, man. What's wrong with you?" I got a lot of people that I know who regret even buying the damn thing. Dude, it don't really do any damn thing. That's the thing I'm saying. Whatever you get for those prices need to do something. And I'm not knocking anybody who bought it because it represents something that they felt they needed in their life as, a cornerstone, or either a cornerstone of their Thundercats collection or something, which is by far cool. But you got to have a space for these things, these gigantic purchases you buy. And this is what I'm talking about. When you buy gigantic purchases, you got to make it make sense. Bro, otherwise the shit just looks crazy as hell. You buying $1,000 toy and you don't know why you buying it, man. I bought it because everybody else was buying it, and I know the resale value is gonna be through the roof. Maybe, maybe not. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of high-priced toys usually don't go up in value. If you bought them high, they don't go up any higher. Sometimes people be like, yeah. If you go on Facebook Marketplace, you find some of those hot toys that people pay the arm and the leg selling for what, $250 and $300, because other people are not going to spend that type of money buying this stuff. They looking at it just like this is used. Even if it came in brand new box, you bet it for some random person. Yeah, I wouldn't spend that much of money. I'm not saying it's not worth that type of money, but for me, nah. See, you can have 2 or 3 quality figures up there, and man, what makes them quality? Because they're expensive as hell? No. Quality is the things that you like that brings you joy, not anybody else. Again, at the end of the day, the stuff that you buy don't matter to anybody else but you. And this is the thing that I'm looking about collecting and enjoying it, man. You know what? It's changed. It's been changing for a long time. It's not about how much you get. It's about how it makes you feel. It's not about how cheap you can get this stuff for. It's about, finding it, and being happy that you found it. Like when I see the toy tubers showing something that they found, man, and I go to the store and I've been like, man, I've been looking for this for the longest. I wanted this figure and I found it, man. I feel fantastic. It's not because, somebody said something was here. It's because I've been wanting that figure. But again, people always say, if you want it, you're going to spend the money. Sometimes you don't got the money to spend. That's just real talk. Just because you want something, meaning real talk, don't mean you don't always get it. But see, that's me talking, and a lot of people just don't listen to that. They think I'm just running my mouth, and, man, dude, it's just crazy. In this world right now, you got to do what you got to do. But people will come to you and say that's the wrong thing you're doing because I don't like the way you're doing it. It's not coming off right. It's making me feel some kind of way. You got me feeling that, I have to do this and this just to live. You know what? Sometimes you have to do this, and this just to live, because sometimes things are not the way you want them to be, and they will never be the way you want them to be. This is how life is created, man. Life is created sometimes for you to struggle. They found, people live their best when they struggle. This is why everybody in society can't be rich. Because if we would, then who would do the work? And why would anybody do any damn thing? You don't need to do anything anymore. Struggling helps us all. Regardless of what you thinking, I'm thinking, struggling is a thing. We do our best when we're struggling. We find ways to do shit. You be like, man, I need $1,000 by such and such. I need to find a way to do it, man. I heard they got a donation place over here to do blood. I heard, this guy's hiring people to cut grass, man. I heard this person over here needs somebody to remove stuff from out his house. Dude, you start coming up with answers, man, and you get out here and start doing it. Dude, now, I'm going to tell you, real people, real motherfuckers going to get out here and do what they need to do. Other people, they'll sit there and just tell you, man, I'm going to, now, you thinking somebody gonna give you some money. People just not. People just don't have it no more. Shit, it used to be back in the day where you could go over somebody's house and eat. Shit, time's so different now. You can't even go over nobody's house and eat anymore. Shit, they looking at you like, nah. You could, used to be back in the days, you used to be like, man, I can, pay all my bills, but I can't afford to eat. And, people let you come over their house every day and eat with them. But now they like, no, man. Oh, man, I can't eat. No, man. They got food banks and stuff like that. You have to look at all these programs that's out here, man. You got to actually start paying attention and start looking at places near you, man. And you got to live your life, man. I see people spend all their money on other stuff, man. And, dude, I'm like, it's all for fun until you start making money from it. People keep telling me they got these businesses going. And I'm asking, I said, what you making from it? What you mean? Why you all up in my business? I'm not in your business. You keep telling me you got this business. I'm like, what is it doing? What is it generating? Are you getting anything from it? The reason why I bring all of this into it, all of this affects collecting. Man, your money affects collecting. Either more of or less of. affects the way you collect. If you have more money, sometimes you might spend more. If you have less money, you're not going to spend way more because you don't have the money to spend. You see where I'm going with this? This is what changed in collecting. Money, or the lack of. But to later, fam, thank you for watching. Peace out.